right, we've got reworks for the Undying team and a kit for Scarlet Witch. Now, I don't know what the release method for Scarlet Witch is going to look like, but she is tagged as epic. And if that is anything like Captain Britain, it's going to be garbage. It's just that simple. If it's like Captain Britain, it's going to be garbage. Not sure if the availability that we had with Zombie Juggernaut and Zombie Iron Man is going to be the same, or if it's going to be like Captain Britain. Now, we've got reworks to the 9 team. We're going to go over those first before we go over the Scarlet Witch Zombie, and it's mostly stat increases. Juggernaut Zombie updates 25% on average across the board, stat increases, and Zombie Juggernaut is the one that needs stats because needs to survive that initial barrage and get to 5 charges so that he can revive, but he can get blown up right away. Zombie Iron Man was mostly a kit-based character. He has a way of reviving as long as Hela is still alive, so stats are not that important, but having extra damage is always welcome. Now, a lot of the modifications to the kit are mostly just, making sure that Scarlet Witch, so they remove some of the specific callouts and call it the Undying team. One of the things that they changed on the basic and the special is before it said most injured enemy that does not have bleed. They got rid of the does not have bleed part, so it just attacks the most injured enemy, which I think is a good change. The same thing is true on the special, and then they added on War Offense, this attack is unavoidable. I still think this is going to be a War Offense team, but they added some things, so maybe the 3-piece without Hela might be viable on defense. We'll have to see how that plays out. There is a change right here. So when he revives, he used to revive with 15% max health for each non-summon Undying ally. Before it was 10%. And then this is what I was talking about. On spawn, it used to have, like, if it's with Hela, right? It had if Hela's an ally. Well, they changed it. 2 or more non-summon Undying allies. So this might be a non-Hela team, maybe on defense. On spawn, if this character has 2 or more non-summoned Undying allies, apply defense up for 2 turns to all non-summoned allies. On spawn, if this character has 2 or more non-summoned Undying allies, apply speed up for 2 turns to self, Zombie Juggernaut, and 1 random Scarlet Witch zombie ally. And this speed up is important because this means that Hela will go last, which is sometimes optimal because Hela spreads all of the negative effects. Most importantly, the ability block, which comes from Zombie Iron Man, right? And so even though Zombie Iron Man has a slower speed than Hela, because of this speed up on spawn, the turn order, well, we're going to go over. It's going to be Scarlet Witch, Zombie Juggernaut, Zombie Iron Man, and then Hela. Hela updates. Boy, she needs these so badly right there. On average, about 30%. And it's kind of just, removing the specific call outs, like right here. It says Zombie Iron Man and Zombie Juggernaut. Now it just says random non-summoned Undying allies. So let's go over the Scarlet Witch Kit. Villain, Global, Bio, Mystic, Support, Undying, Epic. So the first true epic character that we had in the game was Captain Britain, which was garbage release method. And then they went back and added the epic tag to Zombie Iron Man and Zombie Juggernaut, which was a very different experience than Captain Britain. Captain Britain was completely paywalled. I have no information if this character is going to be completely paywalled or if it's going to mirror like what we had with Zombie Iron Man and Zombie Juggernaut. We'll have to find out. Speed of 115. If we go and look at the speed of the other characters, we got Juggernaut Zombie at 112, Iron Man Zombie at 109, and Hela at 110. But the 3 new ones, Scarlet Witch, Juggernaut, and Iron Man, will get speed up on spawn. So it should, the turn order from the way I see it's going to be Scarlet Witch, Zombie Juggernaut, Iron Man, and then Hela will go last and spread things, which I think is a good thing that she goes last. Let's go through the rest of the kit, and we're going to skip down to the passive first. Characters killed by Scarlet Witch Zombie cannot be revived. Cool. On spawn, bury yourself for 30% of this character's max health. And barrier does have a cap of 30% unless the kit has specific callouts. So in general, all characters in Marvel Strike Force, unless there's a specific callout on their kit, their barrier caps out at 30% of max health. On any turn, if this character does not have exhausted, flip all bleed on self and all undying allies. And I guess the situation I could see where this would work is if this team is on offense against Mephisto, this wouldn't work. So is this like a pro Mephisto now that I read it? I just trying to think about this. On defense, maybe it's a future thing. I don't know. On turn, if an ally zombie Juggernaut has died and is currently not an ally, summon Juggernaut Zombie, and the summon should have the stats of Scarlet Witch, and apply taunt to that summon Juggernaut Zombie. This can only trigger once per match. So this feels very similar to that of Magic and Phoenix. On War Offense, on spawn, barrier all undying allies with 30% of this character's max health. Huge. Summoned Juggernaut Zombie spawns with +2 charge, which was also a part of the kit of the OG Juggernaut. And I just want to read what charge does on Zombie Juggernaut because it's kind of important. When attacked, if this character has charged, fill speed bar for this character by 30% plus 5% per undying ally. So he can get a lot of turn meter by being targeted. When this character drops below 50%, clear taunt, heal block, gain 2 death breath, a maximum 3, apply taunt to random undead as guardian ally. And then when an undying ally is summoned to revive, gain 1 charge of maximum 5. When he has 5, he can revive. All right. And then lastly, on spawn, gain 2 charged on War Offense. So that is also a part of the summoned Zombie Juggernaut from Scarlet Witch. Gain 10% drain per charge on this character. War Offense only. And then there's some other things there that are not related to the charge. All right. Very cool. If this character's health is greater or equal to 50%, this character and all undies cannot gain trauma. Awesome. If this character's health is greater or equal to 50%, enemy characters cannot fill speed bar for themselves or allies. And so that is going to feel similar to that of Guardian in Arena. So if a Scarlet Witch has his health is above 50%, this is really going to screw over Doom. Apocalypse is like when he does that, his ultimate, and then he goes into the super punch. Well, he won't get 100% turn meter after the ultimate, so he's going to get delayed a turn on the super punch. Most of Super Scroll's kit is about gaining extra speed bar. This will negate that. So this is a big deal right here. Captain Britain has that on Crucible, right? It's a big deal. This right here is a very big thing in Marvel Strike Force. Absolutely. Then we're going to go on to this special because the special is going to pop up first. And keep in mind, she's going to be the first to act. Energy cost 4/4. Attack primary target for damage. Apply disrupted. An ability block for 2 turns and 2 turns. And 2 bleed. And the reason why the bleed is important because then that's going to start the passive on Zombie Iron Man. It'll start working quicker. And then they'll be attacking each other when they take turns. And so the bleed's a big deal. Attack all enemies for damage. Apply 1 bleed up to max 5 to each enemy. Again, that's huge. One of the problems with the team is if you don't get bleed out there, then Zombie Iron Man's passive doesn't pop off. This is going to be a faster way of getting bleed. Zombie Juggernaut does not apply bleed, but Scarlet Witch will be going before Zombie Juggernaut, applying bleed to the enemies, and I think that's great. Apply Safeguard for 2 turns. Amazing. On War Offense, immunity. Immunity plus Safeguard is a big deal. To 2 turns to self and all undying allies, this attack gains 15% damage against enemies with bleed and cannot be counterattacked. On War Offense, this attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. Then, the ultimate, Energy costs 3/5. Clear all barrier on all enemies and flip all positive effects into negative effects on each enemy. Nice. Attack all enemies for piercing damage and prolong the duration of all negative effects by 1 on each enemy. So this is kind of a call out to the Scarlet Witch, the OG Scarlet Witch in the game. This attack ignores defense up and cannot be counterattacked on war offense. This attack is unavoidable, cannot be blocked. I'm going to suggest that probably Raider is going to be the best on her. We're going to go into the basic here in a moment. But this attacks all enemies. This attacks all enemies. And that, so typically that means, well, you'll use Raider. But we'll see. We have to play test it, of course. The basic: attack primary and adjacent targets for damage. Apply heal block for 2 turns if this character is not at full energy. Apply bleed to primary target and call a random Iron Man, zombie, or Juggernaut to attack the primary target. Fantastic. This attack cannot be counterattacked on war offense. It's unavoidable and cannot be blocked. And then the ISO counterattack assist, which is the main factor on determining if we're going to use Striker or not. Doesn't really make sense to me to use Striker, although all the bleeds get bonus damage from Striker, so maybe Striker, but I'm still thinking Raider. Attack primary adjacent targets for damage and piercing, and apply heal block for 2 turns. All right. Whether or not I think that is awesome or not largely is going to depend on Epic. If there is no free-to-play access to this character, I'm going to say that is truly awful. Oath is coming out today. Here is some artwork on Oath, and there are going to be some chained offers. So this is going to happen today. Is going to have 2 separate daisy chain offers on the web. And the interesting thing about this is the Blade Special, which, if I remember correctly, is not the one that's super important. The one that's super important on Blade is the passive, and then the ultimate right now is available slowly inside of the candy store. So shard, diamond over. Then the second one looks like it also has some Blade Night Stalker orbs, and then it has the special awakened ability here and Blade special awakened ability. I don't know. If you're going to buy all this stuff, I suppose I just not really the type to buy all of them. I probably will buy one offer unlocker, and that'll be that. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.